Yo, it's Isa, and I need to share what happened to me and my friend Adam on Christmas night. This was the scariest night of my life. It all started as a normal night. Adam hit me up, asking if I wanted to grab something to eat and go out for a bit. There's not much to do in our quiet suburb, especially on Christmas night when most families stay home. We decided to head to the local plaza, which has a 7-Eleven, a tavern, and a KFC. When we got there, everything was already closed. That's when Adam pointed to the underground parking lot and said, "Isa, let's go down there. I bet there's something we can do." We went down, and immediately, we spotted two guys. They looked sketchy, like they were waiting for someone. They walked up to us and started talking, asking if they had seen us around before. We had never seen them in our lives, but we played it off and lied, saying we lived in the next suburb over. At first, it seemed like a normal conversation, but then one of them pulled out something I definitely can't mention here. The second we saw that, Adam and I knew it was time to leave. The chase begins. By now, the sun was starting to set. We went around the other side of the plaza to take a different street back to the park we were at earlier. That's when we noticed a car parked near the playground with its headlights on. It just sat there, the driver not moving. After a moment, the lights turned off, but the car still didn't move. Adam and I stopped. "What is this guy doing?" Then we heard it. The car door slammed shut and a man yelled, "OI! Get back here!" We hadn't even done anything yet, so there was no reason for him to come after us. But we weren't about to wait around and ask. We took off running. The footpath had houses on one side and a giant open field on the other. The field had no lights, and on the far side, there were more houses, but way too far to run to. Every few meters, there were small side paths leading back into the residential streets. As we ran, the guy was still behind us, about 50 meters away. That's when, out of one of those side paths, another man stepped out, dressed in all black, wearing a red clown mask, and he yelled, "I've got them!" At this point, there was no time to think. Adam and I cut into the field, but the grass was too tall, making it nearly impossible to run. We quickly changed direction and ran back to the footpath, dodging through some trees in the process. Finally, we made it out of the park and back onto the main road. Normally, it's a busy street, but since it was Christmas night, there wasn't a single car or person in sight. We looked back. The two men were gone. We rushed to 7-Eleven, the only place still open, and caught our breath. The real horror starts. We didn't call the cops. Looking back, I don't know why. Maybe we were scared they'd check our bags and find our spray cans. Adam decided to head home, and I called my dad, but he was at a friend's party and wouldn't be back until the next afternoon. Since Adam was home alone, I went to his place to stay over. At 12:10 a.m., Adam suddenly said, "Dude, what if those guys were the same two from the parking lot?" I was about to answer when we heard it, the creak of Adam's backyard fence opening. We froze. Then came the sound of knocking on the windows. Adam grabbed his phone, but it was dead. I reached for mine to call the cops, but then, through the window, I heard one of them whisper, "You sure this is the house? It looks empty. Someone would have come out by now." My heart dropped. That's when my phone suddenly rang. It was my girlfriend Leah, calling me on Snapchat. The second the sound played, one of them shouted, "Someone's home!" We heard a screen door get kicked in. Realizing it was too late to call the cops, we ran. We bolted out the front door, hearing yelling behind us, but we didn't stop running until we reached my house. From there, I called the cops and told them everything. Leah's mom came and picked us up. The aftermath. The next day, we got a call with an update. Someone had definitely broken in. They found a backpack left behind, filled with a bunch of knives, ranging from small pocket knives to box cutters. There was also a homemade device that I can't mention here. Later that day, Adam and I walked back to the park where the whole thing started. And sitting right there on the ground was the same red clown mask the man had been wearing. That was the last time we ever went out on Christmas night. Even in the safest suburbs, danger is still out there. Stay safe.